Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time you're here, welcome. Thank you for watching. And if you like what you see today, please like and subscribe. That helps me a lot. So today I am going to share with you my makeup routine, my everyday makeup routine. I think everybody is getting back into the routine of being out and about, and they're starting to need a little bit of a COVID makeover or revamp, but maybe you're still not used to spending a lot of time on it. So I am going to show you my go-to makeup routine. And if you are of a certain age, like I am, sometimes the things that you see, a lot of the younger ones, it just doesn't work for you. As we get older, our skin changes. While I do diligently use a great clean skincare, mainly LimeLife by Alcone, I do still have some issues. I have rosacea, as you can see. I have, I think, pretty good skin for someone in their 50s, but I do have some sun damage and larger pores, and so I like to camouflage those. So I'm going to give you my hints. I am so sorry if you can hear that. That is my little dog. I don't know what's going on, but the first thing I do, of course, we want to use sunscreen. So I've already used my other supplements and moisturizer, but a good sunscreen, I like to use a mineral sunscreen. This one is a LimeLife by Alcone. It's an SPF 30. 30 is great for daily sun exposure. I love this one because this actually not only is it mineral, so this is considered to be safe for the coral, so if you're going on a trip, but this is an amazing, amazing primer. And because I have rosacea, I have really sensitive skin, this does not bother my skin. And I have super sensitive eyes, and so a lot of sunscreens can kind of irritate my eye area, and this works great. And so you want to have a great sunscreen. I still do use a spray primer. This one is LimeLife by Alcone. It's made by Skin to Nivea. I want everything to stay on. If you're going to do it, you want it to last all day. I don't like touching up. So what I first do to deal with my rosacea is I apply foundation. Now I am using LimeLife by Alcone's foundation. It's wax based. And because I have been getting some sun, I am going a shade darker. So perhaps you may need to get a shade or two darker also. Most people always have a shade deeper unless you're very, very, very fair. Most people do get a shade or two darker in the summer. I am one of those people. Now, because I have rosacea, I first like to apply where I'm the reddest, all right? And that is this cheek area. And I apply it slightly thick, kind of like with a pressing motion, and then I end up buffing it in and smoothing it out. So whatever foundation you're using, if you do have red spots, I would apply that there first. And then you can lightly blend it in. If you're needing more coverage, you can go back over it. Now, I use a pink tone because I am pink. And I do go down my neck. If you are of a certain age, you probably have noticed you have a big difference in your face and neck. Now, I am talking to a camera, so I'm turning a little red. And I was just out picking raspberries and mint in my yard. Where I live, we are usually around 80. And amazingly, we are in triple digits. So it is warm. They've actually been talking about turning the power out. They have been doing it in certain areas. So I reduced my temperature on my air conditioner. to help the grid out. So it is a little warm. But I have not gone on here in a while. If you follow me, you do realize that I did have surgery, so I kind of have been kind of out of everything for about 6 weeks. So I may end up doing a video on that and discussing that a bit with you all, but we shall see. All right, so the next thing I do is I do use powder. The powder I use is LimeLife by Alcone. It's a translucent powder, and it doesn't make my lines appear larger. It just diffuses and it sets my foundation. So I just do that. It sets the foundation. It makes a great smooth palette for my other products to go on. And because it is summer and I do still want to have a glow, I apply our bronzer number 1. And I just want to get a little bit of color kind of everywhere. I am, like I said, turning a little darker because of the sun, but I'm not going to be out there in this week. Not very much. It's crazy. All right. So because I have hooded eyes, which sometimes is just the way you're born or it's age, weight, whatever, I like to use a matte color. I have this fun Talkin' Flirty Morphe palette, and it has a lot of mattes and some with a little shimmer. So I'm going to use this color. I do not know what it is. I should look at the little map here, huh? That way you will know. But I will tell you, and I'll put it in the comments because I don't have my reading glasses on. So I like to press right here underneath my brow bone into that puffier part of my face to give me a little lift. Can you see that? And I always use a matte color. It doesn't matter if I'm using pink, if I'm using a taupe like this, or a berry color. I always use a matte color and something very pigmented. Like this is, Morphe's pretty pigmented. We have some amazing shadows with LimeLife by Alcone that are very pigmented. So I generally don't have to swatch another color, or another time in there, but I did with this one. All right, so that's there. Then I usually take a deeper color on the edges just to lift this part also. I don't do a ton. I just touch it in there, get a little bit here. So can you already see how it's lifting my eyes? And a trick that I do is every time I put on a color, I wipe this on a towel. It really helps so that you can still use that brush on another color. All right, then I take a blending brush. And of course, you guys, generally, I have to tell you, if I am not like having to do something special, I generally spend 5 to 10 minutes on my makeup. Ooh, I got some in my eye. Wow, what was that? All right, so I just blend those outer corners. That's it. I don't, this is just an everyday look. And you could use lighter colors for this. Then I do my brows because brows frame your face. Especially as you get older, you want to lift this up. And so I have this pencil. It's very little. It's LimeLife by Alcone brow pencil. And because you can see I'm brow challenged, which can come from age Also, if you have autoimmune or I have thyroid problems, it really greatly affects that. So I fully pencil those in because I am very brow challenged. If you are brow challenged, I know how you feel, and I just pencil them in. Now, if you have a pencil that's very thick, um, you know, it can tend to look like you just did a Sharpie up there. And you don't really want that. So these, I mean, see, a very thin line. You can just pencil, where's my camera? Very, very lightly in. Because I have reddish blonde hair, I do use the light. We have this in medium and dark. But then what I like to do is I kind of like to do some deeper ones, some more red or auburn ones. I might use a light liquid brown shadow. This one I am using Urban Decay, and it's got like this. And I just pencil it, because I don't want it to look obvious that I have penciled in my brows. So yes, it takes a few extra seconds to make these hair-like strokes, but it really makes a big difference. A huge difference. All right. Then the next thing I do is, because I am lash challenged also, I always do a top liner because it helps lift your eyes, makes your lashes look thicker, longer. And so I like to use something with a thin brush. Now you may notice I did not put shadow on my lid. Often I will wait till the end because I have hooded eyes, and you know what you put here can transfer up. So if you have hooded eyes or looser skin because you're of a certain age, so there we go. Simple. If you've never used a liquid liner, one with a really thin little brush like this is perfect at helping beginners get used to doing that. Now, a lot of times I will just leave the lid like it is. I won't put anything on it. But if you do want to put a little on, I always suggest using a setting spray. Now, I use the setting spray all over my face anyway, but I like to put, if I'm going to put it on, I like to do it right when I do the setting spray, just so I know that there is no transfer. Now, because I like to look like I'm a little thinner than I am, I take that same matte shadow with a brush like this. If you don't have one like this, if you have a round one, just squeeze it. And I just pop it right here where I would have a little divot, right? So, don't I look like I lost a little weight on that side? I think so. And the trick is a little at a time. This is just to push that cheekbone up, essentially, is what you're doing. And I use a taupey matte color because I don't want to look like, I have a bunch of bronzer there. And then I usually do a little here and this spot here in case you have extra chins. It always helps. All right. And often what I do is take a little of the shadow in a skinny brush, and I'll apply it right here. If I just want a light look, if I don't want to do heavy shadow, heavy eyeliner underneath, I just take a little of that same matte color that I was using. And in case there's fallout, what I do is you can take your foundation brush and go under it I also like to use a little concealer. LimeLife's concealer is great if you have a little darkness under here. It's not a heavy concealer. And I just go up like that. I kind of clean up under here. There we go. Lifts the eyes and cleans up underneath there perfectly. Because I am so red, I generally don't use cheek color. But for all of you, I will put it on today because I know most of you do use cheek color. Because I actually usually use it as an eyeshadow. So I don't always have. There we go. Found it. This one's pretty. This is a favorite shadow of mine. It's called Boom. And see, that's pigment. You don't need much. And so if you do need to add a glow to your face to make you look a little younger, blush is a great way to do that. Now, if you have rosacea, you might not want to do that because you have plenty of color. But you just want a little bit, start light, then you can go heavier. All right, so I'm going to set my foundation. I always tilt my head back so that all of it falls on my face. It doesn't fall front on my outfit. It all goes here. Of course, I can't, you know, I actually just stick with gloss so often during the summer. And if you're still wearing masks, you might want to try something like a liquid lip color. That way, if you're able to take your mask off part of the time, you still got it on, but it's not on your lips. All right, so once I have that on, then I usually then take that light shadow and add a little shimmer to my eyes because it is wet. Usually I do it right away, but I was chatting with you. So I do I'll spray it then. And I can put it here and I know it's not going to transfer. All right. Because if it transfers and shimmer goes into the crease, then that is going to look puffy. Think about this. If you wore a matte brown outfit, would you look thinner than if you wore a sparkly gold outfit? Yeah. So that's why I stick with shimmer right along here. I might even put shimmer underneath here. Then I take my mascara because mascara is so important as we age because it does lift our eyes and makes them look open. If you are super lash challenged, I mean, I am challenged, but this mascara works really great. If you are super lash challenged, buy some extra lashes. You know, they actually, you think it's hard, it's not. There are so many easy ones now, magnetic ones, that are so easy to apply. But if you just want to take a little time and learn how to use the glue ones, they're really simple. But if you're just a mascara girl, make sure you curl your lashes. Take a second or two to do that. And I do, of course, use underneath here. And if a trick I have, so let's say you love your mascara, but it's not waterproof. You love how it thickens, it lengthens, but it's not waterproof. Just once it's all on, perfect like you want it, then take that mascara that is waterproof and go over it. And that way you have the benefit of waterproof, which will keep your lashes not only curled, it stays on, it doesn't flake, but also it's there. especially this is a LimeLife by Alcone mascara. It's like lake proof. Trust me. All right. That is what I generally do every day. Maybe different colors. But pretty much this is my look every day. If you have any thoughts or questions about any of the products that I used or tips, especially for covering rosacea or for women of a certain mature age and you want some tips, things that you can do to make yourself look and feel younger or to hide certain things to diminish them, then let me know and I will answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching.